Lion Country's rock station, 105.9 QWiK Rock, and worldwide at 105.9QWiKRock.com. Welcoming you to this week's edition of the Homegrown Rocker, our weekly local and regional music program. Tonight, we finally get our band guests on the show. We were to have Black Cat Moan on last week, but an illness within the group postponed that appearance until tonight. But a few days ago, I did catch up with Black Cat Moan in the Altoona area, and we'll be featuring that conversation with Black Cat Moan through the course of tonight's program, plus hearing tracks from the group's forthcoming new album. The Homegrown Rocker is brought to you by Pennsylvania Musician Magazine, available at music venues, music stores, or online at pamusician.net. And on this week's edition of the Homegrown Rocker, we are coming to you, recorded live during the Create 1-4 Festival. We're outside the Penn State Altoona Entrepreneurial Center, and we have the members of Black Cat Moan. They just got done playing Create 1-4 a few moments ago, so we're going to catch them right off the stage here. Let's go around the group here. Brad, we'll start with you. Let's go around clockwise. Who's who in this band, and what do you do?
Yeah, Brad Jameson. I'm the bass player.
I'm George Beich, St. George, guitar.
I'm TK Mundock, the monk. I play harmonica and I sing a lot.
I'm Rob Bonzo and I just play some drums. That's about it.
All right. How did Black Cat Moan come together? Give us a little story of how this band took shape and how it got to be where it is now.
Black Cat Moan started originally as the Blues Gathering band at the venue of Merging Arts in Cambria City. Once a month, at the last Saturday of every month, is a blues gathering. And initially, it was put together of a bunch of blues musicians who we really liked the sound of. We really liked, the way that Scott Jeffries played, the way that Don Peruso played. Of course, St. George and I really met on that stage at VOMA. Mm-hmm. And as we also had a keyboard at that time as well. Mm-hmm. But it was once the more George and I talked about the roots of what got us to blues, we really loved the early recordings. We loved Mississippi, John Hurt. We loved, of course, Robert Johnson and all these guys. I loved anything off of Chess Records, and he was the one person I thought that I could talk to about that at great lengths. And so we started playing out as a two-piece, and when we would play out as a two-piece, I noticed how intricate of a player that he was. Now, I would see him play classical guitar at the holidays, and St. George just had so much more to him that seemed like he was simplifying himself to play with that many people on stage at the time. And I asked him, and he agreed that he was dumbing himself down a bit in a way. And I said, well, let's just build off of what your creativity. Let's just design yourself for you, and let's be what we're looking to hear out there. Sure. Every time we go out to hear the blues, we kind of like, you're looking for something that was a lot earlier, a lot older, something that had a lot more soul, a little more desperation, a little more honesty, and let's go to that and create from there. And when we stripped it down, it was easiest to do that because you didn't really have to. You could be yourself the easiest. Once you pair up with a good friend, someone that you trust, you can be yourself the most. Right on. And so that's what George and I did, and it took us to Memphis as part of the International Blues Challenge, and it got us to open up for Buddy Guy, last living blues legend that held the hand and played with all the people that we respect.
Prior to that, we won the
Northern West Virginia Blues Challenge. Yeah, second place in Pittsburgh. And
preface that a little bit. Leading up to when I met TK, I was actually just playing acoustic guitar for about 10 years, I think. Just playing the old school blues, like he said, Mississippi John Hurt, a lot of fingerstyle stuff, just delving deep into that. Coming off of when I played electric guitar, we kind of put the electric guitar away, went way back to the roots of it all, was playing acoustic guitar for about 10 years. Got invited, ran into Scott Jeffries, the blues gathering stuff down at VOMA. He finally got me out of the house and got me to pick up an electric guitar again, or a semi-electric, I should say. But then, like TK said, when we hooked up, we kind of started that road. We didn't know if we were going band, we were going duo. Started writing songs together, which I don't want to say still, but a lot of that first album was written on acoustic guitars, just.
And resonator.
Guys. Yeah, and even resonators and dobras. Now we kind of evolved. I'll skip ahead. a few years to this recording and this album when we brought Rob on board, who brought in a little bit of that funky drum element to it and a lot of neat funky percussion vibes, and he can talk about that. But then we got Brad here, of course, to take us on. So I'm kind of evolving as a guitar player and a musician and a songwriter now, where I can come up with a little idea and let these guys take it on. So it's really nice now to have this group thing instead of what we did prior, to where it was kind of me doing the songs, DK writing lyrics and melodies, and us doing that. Now I can like ease off of it a little bit, come up with a riff or a little hook, and these guys can take it and run with it. So it's a really neat thing for me.
Good to have that companionship.
Yeah,
that way.
So it's a completely different thing. So this is completely different. This CD is completely different, I think, than our last CD. It is.
The first album was a
Obviously.
three-piece. It was Zachary Botalowski on drums, and Zach and I would follow what George would be putting down. Zach is a amazing jazz drummer, and we were really going for that old school, like I said, that early field recordings vibe, really paying homage to what we respected from the blues. Not secondhand news. And it's really been nice that we've kept progressing, kept moving forward.
Yeah. So it's really fun now. These guys brought some life back into it with their talent and their just good energy. So it's going good. Knock on wood. We'll keep driving on.
Well, bringing us to the fact that you guys do have a new album coming together, and is it out yet, or will it be out soon?
Be out very soon, very, very soon. Please keep posted at blackcatmoan.com. You know exactly where we're going to drop it, and you can be with us, okay?
All right, well, we're going to give the folks a song that you've heard a few times before on this show already. Tell us about Is What It Is.
Is What It Is. I don't know, Messing Around. That was an acoustic guitar song all the way. Open C tuning, just a little riff going on. It started the whole thing. I think maybe I might have had the hook line. Is what it is. I think I had that in my brain for a while.
That was rolling around in his head, and he sent it to me. The way George and I often work is he'll come up with a guitar lick and he'll send it to me, and then I'll sit down with it and write lyrics, and then we would meet up, and now there's four of us meeting up, and we make a song out of it. The lyrics themselves is really about what is your station in the world? Where do you gauge yourself? There's so much that you feel like is guiding you in one direction or another, but that's not really it. It really comes down to what your decision is on it. The lines are, there's no black and white. It's all just that pendulum. We're always here and there, there's always an internal, a macro, and a micro.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned that, because this song's been done about 5 different ways since we've been together.
Thank you!
Thanks.
Yeah, no worries.
Hey, we're doing an interview.
Love you, long time.
Love you. Right on. This Is What It Is. There was a version of it recorded on our first album, and you can hear that on Bandcamp, The Saint, the Monk, and the Moan. But you'll hear it done, I think, with its best fervor now as a 4-piece.
Is What It Is. Let's check it out. Black Cat Moan music on the Homegrown Rocker.
Gather round, children, true you're about to hear ain't neither black nor white, ain't either here nor there, but it is what it is. I'm telling you, it is what it is. Now that the truth. Oh, little chilly. Now can you hear what I'm putting down? See, things are as they are, and the whole wide world keeps spinning round. Now that is what it is, till you hear the growl. And yeah, my told me, and her good friend too. Oh, take away your heart, and you take away your mind, and all you're leaving is the blues. Now that is what it is. Oh, what you gonna do? Yeah, what you wanna do? What you gonna do? Oh, what you wanna do?
Where the region's best musicians are in the spotlight. The Homegrown Rocker on Lion Country's rock station, 105.9 QWiK Rock.
Welcome back to the Homegrown Rocker. Again, we're recording this at downtown Altoona as the Create 1-4 Festival is going on behind us. You might be able to hear some music in the background. That's Black Ridge, by the way. And we have Black Cat Moan with us. Let's talk about the forthcoming new recording. Where have you guys been recording it?
Oh, let one of these guys.
Okay, yeah. So we initially were just going to do a demo. We were still just a three-piece, drums, guitar, and vocals at the time. And so I know Dave Villani down here in Altoona at Data Music Studios. So I got a hold of Dave and was like, hey, man, we want to throw something together. So he's like, yeah, sure. So, you know, he was affordable and accommodating. So we went there. And it was funny because we started recording and George decided he wanted to throw some bass lines on things, you know, to fill them out. And then after listening to these bass lines, we were like...
He thought they were inadequate.
Well, you know,
we created an imaginary bass player.
Not only that, it was inadequate. No, I'm just kidding. They were good. After listening back, I was thinking, man, how are we going to do these now without the bass lines, you know? So... Yeah. And I knew my buddy Brad Jameson over here, so I gave him a call, and he was like, all right, you know, yeah, we'll see, you know, we'll see what happens. And he jumped in, and it was just like love at first sight, you know. Yeah. He walked into the studio, first time these guys, TK and George, met him.
Oh, right.
And it was like,
he was recording our songs.
Yeah, and it was like, bam, everything just came together, and he came in prepared. He came in prepared, and he killed it. Absolutely killed it.
Truth. I walked into the studio to a hug from TK.
So from there, we didn't necessarily want to mix there because it was taking, you know, TK lives in Pittsburgh and he wanted a lot of input within the mixing and everything. So we ended up going with Herman.
Herman Soy Sauce Pearl from Tough Sound. He good friend of mine for over 20 years. He's a brilliant artist in his studio, and he was one of the first people to record Matt Miller. And but just he and I know how to talk to each other. We've known each other for over 2 decades. He can understand TK-isms really well.
Yeah, so we did the recording here in Altoona. We mixed it with Herman in Pittsburgh, and then we got it mastered down in some Nashville.
Yeah, Sage
company.
Audio
Sage
in
Audio.
Nashville.
All right. What were you guys shooting for in the recording? What did you hope to capture, and do you feel you captured it?
It's funny you mention that, because initially it was just going to be a little demo type thing. It wasn't really going to be much, just a few songs that we could put out there. And it just started snowballing into this big project where and it's really awesome now. So we're just putting ourselves out there. It's really cool.
Yeah, I think the goal was to how do you present what you feel when you play live? So we kept it pretty close to how we do it live, of course.
No click tracks or anything like that.
No click tracks. And we recorded all of them all at the same time. All of us in the room at the same time for the most part,
except for bass.
the bass. On the first couple.
2 of the songs.
Actually, two songs.
Hula Blues and Medicine Man, which I think we're going to listen to coming up. That was done live together.
That's right. I remember that.
Yeah, Exploration.
Does the album have a title yet?
Does. We're calling the album Symbols, and because it's when you see the album cover, and you'll see exactly what we mean.
Alrighty. Well, we will be seeing the album here soon, so we'll be able to see the album cover. And once the album's out there, how can listeners obtain the new album or check out your other recordings?
It's going to be it's worldwide distribution. It's going to be on all the major digital download services.
I'm just going to say, come see us live and buy one in person. All right? I don't care about all this streaming crap. Come see us live. You'll see the real deal, and you'll get a personal copy from us.
True.
But if you care about the streaming, you can find it.
If you live in Asia,
you can find it on Spotify. You can find it on Apple Music. You can find it on Amazon. It'll be everywhere.
BlackCatMoan.com.
You can also download the physical version at CD Baby through CD Baby store. So
wherever you are on the globe.
Cool. Well, let's check out another song. And this one we used to play the older version, but this is a newer version. What would you like to say about Medicine Man?
Yes.
The revamped Medicine Man.
Mm-hmm. Medicine Man. George. That goes way back. George sent the hook to me, and he by the time I even arrived in Johnstown, he had already written a couple verses for it. The first verse anyway.
Got him started on the path.
Yes, indeed. And it really, I think, has progressed to the beautiful, I think, the place that it needed to be. All that kind of uncertainty and kind of, rising up, and uprising that it needed to be.
Yeah, the song's come a long way with the band.
Yeah, it has.
We needed that input to bring it to fruition.
It's very,
I put more of a driving drum feel onto it rather than the.
Right.
It was a cool song before. I just felt like I needed to push it a little bit, because it's pretty rockin' tune. So.
Let's check it out. Medicine Man, the revamped version, Black Cat Moan music, and you are hearing it on the Homegrown Rocker.
I got the fix that you need. You got a burning fever. I'm gonna cure your disease. Can't quit me once you started. Give you the best of I am. You'll be a fallen angel. I'll be your medicine man. I am your medicine man. I am your medicine. don't try to break through the glass ceiling. You are more than when you started. You need no more than I am. You'll be a fallen angel. I'll be your medicine man. I am your medicine. That you need, you got a burning fever. I'm gonna cure your disease. Can't quit me once you started. Give you the best of I am. You'll be a fallen angel. I'll be your medicine. No, yeah, your medicine.
Once again, our conversation on the Homegrown Rocker coming from downtown Altoona, where Create14 Fest is happening behind me, and we have the members of Black Cat Moan with us. And since you guys just stepped off the live stage a few minutes ago, let's talk about the live show a little bit. What do you guys do when you get on the stage? What happens?
We stay out of TK's way. That's what we do. If you haven't seen TK Mundock live, you need to do yourself a favor.
Truth.
And watch this cat work the stage.
Truth.
He does it like no other.
Yeah, we try to give him his room, but I try to squeeze up in there and get a little bit of something, get a little bit of love, but I do once in a while when I find an opening. But
you raise that guitar high.
But yeah, we kind of we give it our all when we're up there. I think everybody gives 110%, and I hope it comes across like that.
It's fun. It's a mix of pre-plans, play it like it is on the album, and improvise. We just we will go off sometimes for
That's the thing.
TK will say at the end, he'll thank the audience.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting us play, because that's what we do.
Play, explore.
Right on.
And that's something now that we're a four-piece that I see the happiness that George has the ability to have on stage again, to explore and create on the spot. Speaking of create, 1-4. But before he was, with so much, it's all finger picking, and he was a one-man band essentially, playing the bass with his thumb, and it's math. And every time he would get bored with a song, he'd just make it more complicated for himself.
Right on.
So now he has this freedom, and
have a lot of freedom.
I've heard some solos come out of him just this year that it melts me. It melts me. It gives you that energy all over again.
Thanks,
First time I heard you play.
So much fun.
What's your objective when you get in front of the audience? What do you want them to experience?
The objective now is to make sure that they come along with us. My background, and George's as well, all of us have such a great appreciation from jazz. In the past, I would love, people would come and they would witness something happening. We'd be kind of doing our own thing on stage the way that jazz performers do, and you come and you witness it, and you kind of like you're on there's all four walls are closed. But recently, since we've stepped it up into this great rhythm section, that fourth wall is down, and all this internal drive and creativity, instead of just them hearing it before, there's so much better interaction now where people are coming and they're dancing, and there's they're looking at each other and hugging each other, and and it's
and hugging us.
And hugging us.
I love to come at Tail Tuna because it's the only place where we get high fives on stage.
That's true.
From the audience.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah,
Well, I remember this
it's an
one time.
interactive show now.
This one time we were playing. I like to watch audience reactions to TK. That's what I do back behind the drums. I'll sit there and watch. This one show. We got an upset kid over here. Anyway,
the TK.
He doesn't like your story. He doesn't like where this is going.
He doesn't like where it's going. So I was watching this girl one time. TK was going off doing his thing, and she was just standing there with her awestruck look on her face, with her jaw dropped, watching TK. I'm just like, yeah, that's right. That's my singer right there. That's my singer.
Yeah, stuff.
You're guaranteed something interesting.
Yeah.
TK's great at involving the audience, and TK works extremely hard, and he watches other artists, and he learns, and he listens, and he's been, each show you can see he's just growing in his confidence in the way he works an audience and the way he brings them in, and I love when he did it again tonight. The very first thing, calls everyone family, and that's what we want.
Yeah.
That's what we want.
And not only that, but like he's just so natural at it. He works hard, but it comes so natural too. So it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, check it out.
Tory took a long time.
All right. Do you have any upcoming shows during the month of October you want to mention? Any of the shows?
We got a show next week, Brews and Blues in the Valley in Johnstown, PA, on Saturday the
28th,
and then our set starts at
4:30.
And then we're off to Voma for the Voma Blues Gathering.
Where Black Cat Moan started.
We're also going to be recording a video here in October 27th.
Yep, that's true.
At the Grand Midway Hotel in Windber.
In October,
we'll also be October 12th. We'll be at the Bedford Fall Foliage Festival. We're doing 2 1-hour sets, 10 a.m. and at noon, and then we're driving to Moondogs in Blawnox, Pennsylvania, outside of Pittsburgh. Yeah, and we're doing an evening show there at 8:30. So it's gonna be fun time.
A little birdie told me that just might be our CD release party.
Alrighty, and definitely keep checking on the web addresses for these guys to find out any future shows as they are announced. All right, let's get into another of the new songs. What would you like to say about "Lay It Down"?
Lay It Down.
That's our sexy song.
I say, in the spirit of Big Bill Bronzy and Prince, I think.
Yeah, it's just a happy little 1-4-5 thing. I think that's probably the I don't know if I want to say simple, but that's kind of our most straight ahead psalm that we do.
It's a toe tapper.
Yeah, and it's just it's fun. It's fun to play. It's not nothing crazy about it, but people love it, so we love it.
Let's give it a listen. "Lay It Down," new Black Cat Moan music, and again, you are hearing it on the Homegrown Rocker.
I
supporting local and regional bands and artists. The Homegrown Rocker on Lion Country's Rock Station, 105.9 QWiK Rock.
And if you're joining us late on this week's edition of the Homegrown Rocker, our conversation coming to you from downtown Altoona. We're outside the Penn State Sheets Entrepreneurial Center, and Create 1-4 Festival's happening as we're doing this as well. We have Black Cat Moan with us, and we're going to talk about the creative side of this band a little bit. How do you guys typically come up with songs? TK, I know you touched on it a little earlier, but anything else you want to...
Just based off, I might have touched on this earlier, but when we originally started, it was kind of like me just picking around if I have a riff or a hook or something going on, or maybe a line, hand it off to TK, working.
You guys lived in Johnstown, right, at the time?
No,
you were in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he would send it off to me, and then sometimes he would have a line stuck in his head, or just let me go with it. I'm always writing lyrics as well. He stockpiles hooks and I stockpile lyrics, and sometimes there's something that kind of merges so well together, and there's other times where there's just new words that are created just from that hook. That you hear it. George is tapping into something, and just like a radio station, if you listen close enough, there's a voice that's going to come through to you.
Right on. Now it's done a little bit differently. That we got Brad and Rob on board.
It's funny, I'll get up in the morning and check my messages, and there's a video of George playing a guitar riff, and I'll be like, that's pretty sweet. And then
in my underwear.
In his underwear, of course. That makes it better. And then we'll basically, get together once every month or so, try to anyway, and meet midway in Johnstown, because me and Brad are from Tyrone and Huntington, and you got Pittsburgh and Johnstown, so we're spread across. So it's not always easy to get together. So, but
he'll send the hook, I'll send lyrics back.
When we get together,
and we'll get together, and then
it comes together fast.
So
we wrote 4 songs in 2 days, just from getting together.
Two sessions, those are like
2 days,
2-3 hour sessions.
We have a whole other album just waiting.
Yep,
we do actually.
Yeah, so as soon as this one's released, we're gonna hit it this winter and start recording some more.
Definitely.
And then when a new song occurs, the next time we play out, we put it on stage and we test it with the people. We did it today as well. Yeah. I mean, where else?
We're going to be doing it tonight.
To start,
True.
Share your creations that no one's ever heard before. We did it today.
Yeah,
we're going to do it tonight as well.
It keeps it fresh for the audience, and keeps our fans coming back.
And you learn to see what works.
What typically do you guys like to write about as far as lyrics go? Are there any particular themes you like to stick to?
I listen to a lot of great philosophers and a lot of good metaphysical things. Very inspirational.
We're going to get esoteric real quick.
Yeah, it's truth. Yeah, we're all alchemists here. No, but in all honesty, my wife challenged me, I would say at the beginning of the year, to always realize that she challenged me to make sure everything you put out there is going to have a positive effect on somebody, because everything you do, all thoughts are vibrations, words are vibrations, and they have a very deep effect on people. And what do you want to give? Do you want to give anxiety? Do you want to give positivity? So even in the songs like No One's Gonna Love You, it sounds very harsh. The next line is no one's going to love you until you love yourself. And so all of these songs, they're very esoteric, and they're referencing ancient history and just honest history of who we are as people to be better.
Right on. Right. What would you call your influences, both older and more recent, musical or otherwise?
See, lyrically, let's see, Eckhart Tolle, Golden Dawn. But no, in all honesty, I would say music-wise, as songwriters, I've always loved the way Bowie went about it. There was cryptic, and there was an intelligence behind it, that it wasn't just straightforward. The other lyricist that I love that he pulled it off was Prince. And Prince had the ability to do all of that, the spiritual, the as above, so below, the mind and the body, through sexuality and spirituality, and I really appreciate that as well. then of course I love all those guys that whose hearts was ripped out in the fields. You know what I mean? All those field recordings, those early field recordings of the blues. Their sheer honesty of what they were feeling. Musically, George.
What was the question? I don't know. I hate to call us. I'm just a riff guy. I'm just the old-fashioned kind of riff guitar player, I think, now.
He's studied so much. There was one time he told me, I sent him lute music, and because I thought there were these amazing hooks and these Baroque lute playing. And he said, "Oh, I love lute music. I remember being at George's record shop, right?
Right.
He said,
buying all that
he
stuff.
He said he gave me access to the attic because I was looking for lute music on vinyl. And he was like probably a teenager at the time.
But I just
nobody likes St. George.
If I get alone with the guitar and just kind of find my happy place, and it's like meditation to me. But I don't know where exactly it comes from, but. Yeah, just let my fingers go when I'm in that good place, and just kind of riffs come to me, and that's all it is.
Conduit to the heavens, baby.
All right, well, let's get into another song off of the upcoming new album. What would you like to say this time about No One Gonna Love You?
That's the one we usually start the set with.
It's true. We will come out and grab the audience with that right off the bat. And it's the song's about challenging yourself to be your best possible version. It's be you angel or be you damned, be you helpful or a helpless man. And it's all choice. You think somebody has it, they're holding it over you, pressing you down. That's not it at all. It's just all those things that you impose on yourself are self-imposed, and you can rise above it. It's all choice. And that song's definitely about choosing to share your best possible version, I think.
Let's check it out. No One Gonna Love You. Music from Black Cat Moan, and you're hearing it on the Homegrown Rocker.
Dying from being be you bastard a dynasty, be you alone or family. Be you bitter or be you sweet, to walk out or blind to see. Well, gotta tell ya, no one gonna love you until you love yourself. You're dying from being old.
Welcome back to the Homegrown Rocker. Once again, this week's conversation coming to you from downtown Altoona, the site of the Create 1-4 Fest, which is happening the day we're recording this, and I have the members of Black Cat Moan. Talk about your performance chemistry these days, especially after the additions of the newest two members, Rob and Brad. How are you guys gelling together as a unit?
That one of them filled, yeah.
Like it's always been, like they've always been there.
We keep saying, I'm the newest guy. I just started in January. But it's
hard to believe.
It's unbelievable. We talk about it all the time, how it just feels like we've known each other forever. Rob and I really just met.
The beauty of this band, I think the chemistry begins off the stage, because I've never been in a band where there's no egos, there's no attitudes, there's none of that. It's just let's get together and love each other and make awesome music, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
And it
comes through.
Yeah, it comes through on stage. It manifests itself when we're up there, and we have fun with it, you know. And it's just the chemistry's just there. Like me and George have been playing long enough now where like I know when he's going to do like a little turn or we'll do a little stop, and we'll communicate a lot. And it's just awesome.
A lot of eye contact.
Oh, it's just beautiful.
Little cues.
And the novelty, I've always said this from day one since I joined these two, once Zach left, and then even when I brought him in, and still to this day, the novelty of this band has never worn off with me. Every gig I look forward to and I get excited about. Like today, we played this Create 1-4. Tonight, we're going to Zeno's playing 3 hours up there. And I just can't wait to get up there and play, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love these guys. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, it's hard to believe.
So thankful.
It's hard to believe, but I mean, like, when you put something out there long enough, you're going to get it back.
So.
A dramatic pause for a motorcycle as it
Can't you hear the thunder?
Yeah.
I was just waiting for him to rip it, you know.
I believe the fail is next.
What's the most rewarding part of doing what you're doing? Well, what's the most rewarding aspect of being in this band?
For me, it's straight just the joy that this band brings me. I feel creative all the time with these guys. If it's TK and I working on artwork, or talking about marketing, or waking up as Rob says, and you're seeing a new riff from George.
There's no one standing there saying, "No, don't do it that way." The freedom allows us in this group. Whatever we do, it just seems to work great.
Because we have faith in all of you as individuals.
Sure.
All of us.
And it's just awesome.
Right.
It's like you can fly without a net.
I look forward to playing every time. So.
Yeah, I want more. I'm looking forward to tonight, seeing us.
Mm-hmm.
What are your long-range goals for Black Cat Moan? What do you want this band to achieve when all is said and done?
When all is said and done, global inspiration. Definitely to give that love all around the world. And as this wizard goes by.
Thanks, brother.
Good to see you, Gandalf. Cheers, my friend. That's a sign right there. That taking that magic. Definitely to share. There's really no reason that people shouldn't be doing what they love most every day of their life. When it really comes down to it. And that's my goal with Black Cat Moan and these guys there. That it should be a part of our lives every day in a very positive way, because we want to share it now. It's not just for us. We want to share it. And the more you share it, it's just going to grow and grow and grow. We'll be doing it every day, and we'll get to see the world doing it. That's the plan, because it makes sense.
Amen.
Let's go with another song. This time, what would you like to say about The Veil?
George's riffs, he first played this riff for me, and I was like, "Oh my God, George, what are you doing over there?" And it's just a badass riff. That's all there is to it. It's a badass riff, George.
Just a little.
It's undeniable, man. It's undeniable.
Just a little something I came up with. That's in G, an open tuning of G. Little slide thing. Yeah, it just went crazy. Just a little riff that I handed off to these guys, and then it just came together. Yeah, magically came together. But it's
feel the thunder.
Yeah, it's a great tune. Great tune. One of my favorites, and all to these guys for bringing it on to fruition. So.
That was an interesting one for me, because George, as we talked about earlier, when I went into the studio, that was one of the bass parts that there was a rough track already in existence, and I just changed it ever so slightly, but I added a little bit of slap bass to it, which is the only song on the album that has any kind of slap bass. But it just adds a little bit of different texture to the song, and it's fun. It's one of my favorite ones to play. I love playing that song.
Let's give it a listen. The song is The Veil, music from Black Cat Moan, and once again, you're hearing it on the Homegrown Rocker. One more time, let's take it back to downtown Altoona, the Create 1-4 Fest, and wrap up our conversation with Black Cat Moan. And one more time on this week's Homegrown Rocker, the conversation coming to you from downtown Altoona, the site of Create 1-4 Fest. And again, we're speaking with the 4 members of Black Cat Moan. Talk about your fan base. Who comes to see you guys play, and how important are they in what you do?
Wow, right on. I tell you, the people that have been supporting us from the beginning are still coming around and supporting us. They're always interested in to see how we're progressing, and it's growing. And now that we have this rhythm section that's just making people move, it's doubling every time. So it's, like all good things, grassroots. It starts with the people around you, and then we took it to the blues societies, and then we have fans and members of the blues societies that come to us, and they share the word. And I'm just really curious to see what's going to happen once this next album comes out. We're on every musical platform. I think we're going to find a lot of friends everywhere we go, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, we're thankful. We're grateful for all the people that support us from the start, and a lot of people that are close to us that have followed us on our journey. And it's nice to see them still on board and supporting us and excited as we are with the evolution of what we're doing.
Yeah,
Very great.
they share a lot with us.
It's an interesting mix of people. It's I'm amazed at the age range that we see at shows.
It's true.
It runs the gamut. I was just having a conversation with someone at the festival tonight. Said my 7-year-old daughter was so excited to say, "Is the Moan band gonna be here tonight?"
I heard that.
Did you hear that?
That
That's so
great.
cool.
She was at the Route 22 Fest.
She was there, right? She saw us
yeah.
before. Yeah, so 7 all the way up to
80s.
I mean,
There's,
80s.
yeah, I think Spiels, there's people that are in their 80s that come out to see us in the venue of Emerging Arts. And it's really interesting. I think like once you go far enough back in your interest in the music, there's not a genre that you can't, and touch that somebody can't relate to in some fashion. So it is really fascinating to see the age
It is.
just that are in our
We're
audience.
our music's
Something
very
for everybody. I guess.
Yeah, our music has
It's
something
rare.
for everybody. You could have rock fans and blues fans and jazz fans and funk fans. I mean, and they can all come check us out and enjoy it. So.
And they all ask each other, "What did we just hear?" And they're trying to put a label on it, and we've been struggling.
They always
with that
ask.
as well.
That's the worst. I hate that question. I get asked all the time. Well, what do you guys play? What do you sound like? And I'm like, it's so hard to describe.
Create your own,
Wherever the vibe carries you.
Exactly.
Create your own categories every day.
Is there anybody special behind the scenes you'd like to thank or acknowledge for helping this band out along the way?
Can I throw one out real quick? I'd like to thank my mother for supporting me as an artist my entire life and letting us, allowing me to be as unique as I've continued, as we all are. But she always let me be myself the most. And it was through her that the venue of Emerging Arts came about, and so I met George, and just everything just snowballs from that. There's so many people I'd like to thank for, but I want to thank my mother for helping me be myself.
I'd like to thank my wife Nicole for allowing me to do this stuff because I mean I have a 6-year-old and a 10-year-old, and I've been playing drums since I met her. And it was one of the things she always promised she would never hold me back from playing. And me driving to Pittsburgh by myself, over and over again to Johnstown, playing gigs, and she trusts me, and she comes to whichever one she can, because a lot of times my mom will take the kids on the weekend, so she'll be able to come and have fun. But I'd like to thank her first and foremost, just because she allows me to do this, and I don't have to fight with her. It's never an argument. It's like, hey, I got a gig. Oh, okay, cool. You know what I mean? And so I'd like to thank her for sure, and I'd like to thank Jim Price.
Yeah.
Jim Price.
Absolutely, for all you do.
For everything he does.
So many people.
Yep.
Keep making the music, and I'll keep on playing it.
Brad?
Awesome.
Who are you?
Brad?
I mean, I'm like TK. You have so many people that when you're on the spot, obviously Lori, my girlfriend, same thing as Rob's saying. The support behind what we do is it's something that's overlooked for people that aren't part of it. It can be a lot of hours, not just the shows, but the practice at home, the working on music, the talking about how many times family members listen to these things that are so important to us, and exactly. So how many versions of recordings and the nuances of all the things that you listen to and stress about. So and I'd like to thank Rob, because Rob's the reason I'm in this band. I remember I was sitting in a parking lot and I got a call from Rob, and
I'd like to thank you for joining, and I'd like to thank these guys for bringing me in.
My brother.
You are those guys.
Yeah. George, what about you, buddy?
Thankful. Oh, boy. Yeah. Whew. I don't even know how to answer that. Just everybody, just you guys especially, just you three first and foremost. Christy, of course, for putting up with me.
All the venues for booking us.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Everybody that helps
Everything.
us on our journey.
Dude, what's
everybody,
not to be thankful for?
Yeah, everybody that sends
much
me
gratitude.
text or email or message or anything.
Good
Thank you,
humor.
Jim. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
All right. Is there anything else about Black Cat Moan you'd like to share with our listeners? Anything we haven't covered that you want to tell the folks?
I'm going to say let their ears do the work.
Right on.
Yeah.
And how could they do that?
They can just listen to us and decide what they think about us, right?
Yes, indeed. Listen to us on the radio.
Find out for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Go to blackcatmoan.com. Go to Spotify and all your favorite music platforms coming up. Yeah, thanks for listening.
All right, and I guess we should reiterate the upcoming shows. I guess that triple show in October, you guys are that triple gig day, I guess I should say.
Yeah, it's interesting. We just wrapped up probably our busiest month to date. I think we had 11 shows in September.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of bonding time, a lot of growing together.
And we're kicking off. Go ahead.
Yeah. And we have a triple show. We have a triple bill coming up October 12th. We're going to be at the Bedford Fall Foliage Festival. We have a 10 a.m. show, the earliest show that we've ever done.
Gonna wake people up.
Hopefully with coffee. We have a noon show at the festival as well, and then we're packing up and we're driving to Pittsburgh to play Moondogs that night at 8:30.
Yes, the historic Moondogs.
We're back and we're putting all of our shows in October in one day.
Yeah.
Then we're shooting a video.
Yes, indeed. We're shooting a video at the end of the month, so we'll be concentrating on that. And when we're not playing, we're always sending each other new songs. So we have many albums.
We
just
took a bit of
waiting.
a pause with the booking because we're anticipating the release of the album, and we have some work to do with that.
It does. So we want to record some new stuff over winter. And we also normally take a break just because the weather gets kind of bad too.
We all drive.
Driving across the Laurel Highlands in the winter is not always the best thing, and you just never know. So we keep the booking to a minimum, I think, over the winter. So.
Mm-hmm. And we let people now, but we're giving everybody a gift so they can listen to us in their houses throughout the winter.
All right. Well, before we get to our last song, I want to thank you guys for being a part of the Homegrown Rocker. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying what you're hearing from the Black Cat Moan this evening, get out and see their shows before this winter in the Laurel Highlands kicks in, and definitely get a hold of the album when it comes out. Guys, we have one more song we're going to go with here. What would you like to say about Wanna Be Free?
Groovy.
I want to be free.
Groovy.
I think this is one of those songs that it shows this musicianship, this four-piece, this rhythm section, what it does, with George, with these great stops, and you'll hear it. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. That it's nice to create without any barriers. It seems like you guys, on this one, it shows your musicianship in such a wonderful way.
Yeah, it was just a little hook, and then TK helped actually with the musical rearrangement. I remember with the middle breakdown, the little interlude in the middle.
Then the stops.
Yeah.
That was my. I drew the influence. The stops you'll hear in this song. Sure. I drew the influence from Alabama mountain music. That was one of my inspirations when I was a kid. Listening to that song, and there's like a breakdown in the middle, and then the drums kick in, and I always thought that was really cool.
But lyrically, I want to say that this song, like I had in my mind when I think I came up with the one phrase maybe or whatever, but it's an inspirational song for people to be themselves. And when I came up with this, I could see it like a movie lyrically about just everybody being themselves and being proud of who they are, whatever that may be.
Let's check it out. Wanna Be Free, music from Black Cat Moan, and once again, you're hearing it on the Homegrown Rocker.
Come and go. Thinking of a different time, one step closer to making up my mind. I just wanna be free. just wanna be me. Yeah. I'm thinking on used to be silly how change can change on me. Was a different mind, one step closer to me all the time. Like that I was blind, let me tell you that I just wanna be free. Oh, baby, don't say I just wanna be.
Lion Country's rock station, 105.9 QWiK Rock, and worldwide at 1059QWiKRock.com. Wrapping up this week's edition of the Homegrown Rocker with our guest band Black Cat Moan and the song Wanna Be Free. And again, that's off the forthcoming album Symbols, should be out within the next few days from Black Cat Moan. Want to thank those guys for catching up with us and filling us in on the details on the new album, and for doing the conversation and interview during the Create 1-4 Fest in downtown Altoona. I'm the Professor Jim Price. Thank you for listening to this week's Homegrown Rocker. Hope you got turned on to some local and regional music. If you like Black Cat Moan or any of the other bands and artists we featured over the past 2 hours, make the effort to get behind and support these groups. Check out their shows, see them when they're playing on your favorite area stages. Get on their websites, follow them on Facebook and Twitter. Buy the merchandise, too. Their albums, their shirts. It all helps to keep live local music happening here in Central PA. Your support does indeed make a difference. The Homegrown Rocker is brought to you by Pennsylvania Musician Magazine, available at music venues, music stores, or online at pamusician.net.